Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And yes, my older subscribers will know that I come from a place called Escort in KwaZulu Natal in South Africa. I worked in the bank there for many years. I actually had a farm in the Drakensberg near Champagne Castle. And what a beautiful part of the world it used to be. But even back then, I'm talking back in the early 1980s, there was a road that you had to take from Escort to get to the Drakensberg to go to Champagne Castle, which was kind of a bit iffy. I mean, I never really felt threatened, but you had to go through this African township. And it was an area called Loskop. And Loskop was named after this very big hill that was kind of just eroding all over the place. It was quite incredible to see. So if you're ever in the Escort area, take the road to Champagne Castle and you'll see this hill on the left-hand side where, as I say, it's just eroding. And that's the region called Loskop. Now, why are we talking about Loskop? Because we're talking about one of the disgusting pedophilic practices of the black African population in South Africa. And no one in the media are talking about this because of skin color. If this was white people doing this, this would be huge news globally. But of course it doesn't fit that old narrative, does it? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. This year, 9 girls from a school in Loskop, Escort, have been abducted with the intention of forcing them into early marriages. This was heard this week at a meeting held to discuss Ukutwala, the practice of abducting girls and forcing them into marriage, and abuse against women. Now, this term, Ukutwala, is part of the old African way. You know, it is absolutely disgusting. It's basically pedophilia. That's what it is, and I'll explain to you why. The meeting held with residents of Loskop was convened by members of the Provincial Legislators' Quality of Life Portfolio Committee. The girls kidnapped from the school were between the ages of 11 and 17. These are children. They've been abducted and forced into marriage. One of the children returned home after her parents intervened, and another after being abused. Xoli Msimanga, director of the Loskop-based NGO Tembeletu Care Organization, which combats social ills, said Ukutwala is still happening in this area. She said, some parents still believe that the only thing a girl should do is get married. If a girl gets to her 20s and no one has proposed to her, she is made to feel like she is nothing, and that puts her under more pressure. Msimanga said the NGO took steps to educate parents about the rights and feelings of their children, and that strategy was paying off, as one of the abducted girls was rescued after her mother opened a criminal case with the police. She said, when her daughter was abducted, she went to the police and her daughter was brought back. Fortunately, the girl was not abused. We have since helped her to get a protection order. When girls are abducted, they are forced to marry men older than them. Some of these men are unemployed. These girls are children, and all of a sudden they're expected to run a marriage and fall pregnant. The teenager who was rescued said she was 17 when she was abducted by a man who she believed was in his 30s. He was harassing me for some time. One day I was walking home and a car drove in front of me and I was bundled inside. They drove away playing loud music so people could not hear me scream, and went to a mountain where they kept me until midnight. At midnight they moved me to a room at his home, where I was placed under the guard of many people who pleaded with me to agree to marry the guy. I cried all night until the police came with my mother to get me, she said. Her mother said the abduction was carried out in front of other community members who did nothing to help. Only one woman came to tell me afterwards about who had taken my daughter. She had been powerless to help at that moment, she said. I could not sleep at night. Family members refused to help. I walked to the police station and went with the police to where my daughter was kept. She was guarded by 20 men. Fumzile Mbatasele, the chairperson of the Quality of Life Committee, said Ukutwala was a serious problem. Children as young as 11 are being abducted. About 7 parents who were at the meeting detailed their own and their children's trauma. One of their most serious concerns is they complained that the police in Loskop did not take these cases seriously, Mbatasele said. So, this is just another area which we have not even touched on, where the culture of the black African population in South Africa is totally incompatible with the Christian values of the white population. And going wider than that, broader than that, children as young as 11 today in South Africa being abducted and forced into marriage with older men. Now, the world should be screaming out about this, but they're not. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, stay safe.